Gnocchi with tomato and basil. Homemade gnocchi smothered in a garden fresh tomato, basil, and garlic sauce. Oh, simply delicious. Hey everyone, I'm Flo. Dude is behind the camera and we're all about simple food, simple faith. Today we're making a homemade gnocchi, but I'm not doing that. Today we have Ella, my daughter, coming on set, and she's going to teach us how to make gnocchi today from scratch.
Hi.
I tried making gnocchi once, I think, when I was in my 20s, and it just turned out not so good. But Ella makes amazing gnocchi. So I'm very excited to have her on board here. So that's it, guys. Those are the basic ingredients. I actually was able to grow tomatoes this year, so I'm just using a variety of different tomatoes for the sauce, along with some garlic I grew. I did not grow this onion, but I did grow a whole bunch of shallots this year. And I have a lot of basil. I still need to go out and clip some more for this recipe.
So here I have 5 potatoes for the gnocchi, and it's about 1 pound and 5 ounces. And before we cook them, I'm going to poke holes in them with a fork, and I'm not sure why. Could you explain?
So we're poking holes into the potatoes so that steam has a place to escape and it will allow the potatoes to cook faster.
Okay, so I can just... Do I need to put more?
Maybe 2 more.
Okay. So after you've stabbed the potatoes with the fork, you want to score around the potato so that the skin can come off easily after.
We're doing the potatoes in the Instant Pot today because we find that it's easier, but you can cook your potatoes however you would usually boil potatoes. So we have a cup of water in the Instant Pot with a trivet, and the potatoes are just sitting on top, and we're gonna cook them for 18 minutes on high pressure. Okay, putting on the lid, making sure the sealing knob is on sealing. Just high pressure for 18 minutes. And that's it. We'll see you in a bit.
So once the potatoes are done cooking, you're going to quick release the pressure. So now I'm going to take the potatoes out, I'm going to put them in this bowl, and then you're going to let the potatoes cool down until they're cool enough to handle. So while your potatoes are cooling, you want to get 1 1/3 cups of flour, and you can add half a teaspoon of salt. That looks like half a teaspoon. Okay, and then you can just whisk that together. And after you whisk it, you can just pour it onto your surface. And make a well. So. Okay, and then now you're going to start to grate your potatoes. So I'm just going to take the skin off. I can't get it off.
Well, it does make it easier, so that's why we score the potatoes, so that it's easier to peel it after it's cooled down. It sure beats using a potato peeler.
So now I'm going to grate my potato into the flour and the salt. I'm just going to grate over it so that it's easier, just to get all of the potato into the well. So I grated my 5 potatoes so that there wouldn't be any lumps in there, and you can also use a potato ricer, which maybe you'll get me as a present if I make more of these. So now I'm going to crack the egg in there. Okay. And now I'm just going to start to mix it together. And I also have an extra bowl of flour, just in case you need to add more.
And what size egg are you using, Ella?
I'm using an extra large egg. So if you use a smaller egg, then you might need to adjust the amount of ingredients. Oh, so slimy. So you want to keep on kneading it until it no longer sticks to your hands. And as you can see, it's sticking a lot to my hands. So if you need to add more flour, you can add a little bit more. Thank you.
Like that?
Yes, that's good. Okay, and I'm just going to keep on kneading it in. So I've added an extra 1/3 cup of flour, and it's still really sticky. And it could be the weather that's making it super sticky still, so it's not, there's a word for that.
Humidity?
Yes, because it's super humid maybe. So I'm going to add more flour. Thanks. So I've added as much flour as I can without over-flouring and over-kneading the gnocchi, because if you over-knead it, you'll get a tougher gnocchi, and you want the gnocchi to be tender. So now I'm just going to use this to cut it maybe into 1/8 to make it easier to roll it out. Okay, I'm just going to flour my surface over here so that these don't stick. So now I'm going to roll this out into a log, maybe. Okay. Maybe like this.
So about 1 inch in diameter.
Yep. And then you're just going to cut it into maybe, is that a centimeter? I think that's a centimeter. So I'm going to just put these over here.
All right, so I'm going to help Ella here with using the fork to just make a little design, and it kind of holds the gnocchi. I don't know, is the back of the fork or the front of the fork, Ella?
Front of the fork should be fine.
Okay. So you just want to roll it kind of off.
Wow, look at that production line.
I know, we're getting better.
Yep.
Okay, we're just transferring these onto a floured board because we need to let them rest for 20 minutes and we need the counter space. So either just leave them where they are before you cook them, or like what we're doing is just transferring them onto a floured board where we can cook them afterwards. And try to keep them apart, because if they start to touch each other, they will start to stick. While the gnocchi is resting for that 20 minutes, I'm going to get my sauce ready to go. And I have half an onion that I'm just going to slice, I think. I would normally use my wooden cutting board, but the gnocchi is resting on the, should have used this board instead. I have some cherry tomatoes here, different varieties. I'm just gonna quarter them and chop up the other tomatoes. And I'm using about 1 pound, so just use whatever tomatoes you have. Romas would be really good. Tomato on the vines would be really good. A whole box of cherry tomatoes would be really good. It's up to you. If they're big cherry tomatoes, you can cut them into 1/8. And then these smaller ones, you can probably just cut them in half. And the larger tomatoes, you can just cut them up, chop them up however. Just gonna chop up 1 clove of garlic. And if you want more garlic, you can certainly add more. And if you don't want garlic at all, you can eliminate it. It's totally up to you. Okay. You could also push this through a garlic press, but I'm just gonna chop it up because, well, I have some time and it's not hard to do. I just chopped it up minced it, chopped it, whatever you want to call it, into little bits. And you can go as little or as big chunks as you want. Getting my pan going on medium heat. I'm using a 12-inch skillet today because I want to make my sauce in here and then be able to toss the gnocchi in the pan. So we're starting off with more surface area. Adding about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And we're going to add our onions. I'm going to saute this for about 2 to 3 minutes until the onions are translucent, but you can cook them for as long or as little as you like. That's the texture we want. Bet you caramelized onions would be really good in this as well. All right, so once the onions are done to the texture you want, I'm gonna add our, let's see, a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes, just for a little bit of a kick. You don't have to add it if you don't want it. You can add more if you like. And we're also gonna put in our garlic. We're gonna cook that for about 30 seconds. Just until you start to smell it. Oh my goodness, this smells so amazing right now.
It sure does.
And you're gonna add your tomatoes. We're gonna cook this for about 3 to 5 minutes, just cooking down the tomatoes a little bit to make them more soft. And in the meantime, I'm gonna chop up my basil. And you just wanna stir this occasionally and just let it cook down. So I have a small bunch of basil here, about 4 stems. And I'm just gonna take off the leaves and we're gonna just chop them up.
That green color is just so lush.
It is, and you know what? It smells so amazing. The cats hate it, which is great because we can use it to deter them from whatever. They're so funny. It is looking and smelling so good.
So fragrant.
Another minute or so. Okay, it's been about 4 to 5 minutes, I think. I'm gonna turn it off now. I'm just gonna chop up my basil before we get the gnocchi going. You know, you can do this all at once if you have a stove. So because we're showing you how to do it out here, we just have the one burner. And stacking these will make it easier to chop.
I was wondering whether
why you're
tall, but you're doing it.
Yep. Okay. And we're just going to chiffonade it, which is just slicing it into slivers, I guess. And we're gonna add this after we get the gnocchi added. But you don't wanna cut your basil too soon because it will start to brown and then it won't look so green and lush.
So this is only half of the dough because adding all of the extra flour made more gnocchi dough. So right now we're just gonna cook half of it. So what you want to do is you want to bring a pot of salted water to a boil, and then we're just going to add it in different batches because they're different sizes. So you can maybe make all of the big ones first and then the smaller ones. And you just want to cook them until you see them float, maybe about 3 minutes. So now that the water is at a rolling boil, you can start to add the gnocchi in. Some of them are like really long.
I know. But they'll be fun to eat.
Yeah. You might also want to give them a stir while they're in the water just to make sure that they're not sticking to each other or to the bottom of the pot. Oh, they're starting to float now, so you can take them out. Oh, they're so long.
That's okay, they'll still taste good.
Yeah. They're almost the size of like a finger or something.
Finger gnocchi,
Yeah.
we'll call them.
So now we're doing the second batch of gnocchi.
I'm just gonna heat this back up because it's been sitting for a little bit. But you know, if you have everything timed right, the gnocchi can go straight into the sauce and just tossed all together. Don't forget to season your tomatoes. I'm gonna add about half a teaspoon, maybe not, quarter teaspoon of salt, or 2 really good pinches, along with some fresh ground pepper. Turn off the heat, add our gnocchi, and just toss this in. All right, does that look good or what? Okay, adding the basil. All right, let's get this into a pasta bowl. And check out my giant block of Parmesan. And we're just gonna shave some Parmesan on top. All right, are you all ready for?
Oh yeah. The taste. I'm loving these collabs with Ella because I get to eat the goodness afterwards. So I'm loving that teamwork, and look at these colors. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell it. There's a lot of freshness going on here, and loving that everything is homemade and even has the rustic finger gnocchi vibe. Okay, here it goes. A lot of goodness going on here. The gnocchi is indeed tender. It's not tough or chewy at all. Kind of melts in your mouth actually. Thanks, Ella. Really good. The flavors of the sauce, so much freshness, really exploding in your mouth. The tomatoes and the basil and a little bit of heat from the chili flakes and the Parmesan, of course, covering the spectrum of salt, acid, fat, heat. You know, with the price of food going up, price of dining, you really are compelled to make more at home. And it doesn't mean you need to dig into a jar of sauce. I mean, this is not a tomato sauce, but I'm loving this combination of the tomatoes cooked, but not super saucy to not detract from the gnocchi, but you're dealing with a lot of awesome flavors and mouthfeel here. Oh, deluxe flavors at home.
Awesome, thanks, dude.
Thank you everybody for all of your kind words and encouragement on the last video.
And if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's tortillas and mushu pork.